What's going on, everybody? Pound here, and this is the 7th episode of Keeping It Real with Pound. And now, initially I had my own gameplay, but some shit happened. First time, I had a buddy record it for me, and he sent it to me, and me, being a dumbass, I compressed the file so it could go into Final Cut quicker, but instead of compressing just the file size, I compressed it to an image, and obviously that's fucked. So I had somebody else do it. They sent it to me, and after like 2.5 minutes in, the video froze, but the audio was still working perfectly, so it was all kinds of fucked up. So I grabbed one of my old gameplays. This is not my gameplay. When I say my old gameplay, it's my buddy PNG, who's now co-leading the feeding team for Tame. So Tame PNG, this is his gameplay. He's playing some Search and Destroy. He kills it. I think he goes like 14-1. So you guys can watch this and enjoy it when I talk about something that kind of irks me, and that being the whole above the influence thing. You guys know what I'm talking about. The above the influence commercials, the truth commercials, like the arrow that points up with a circle around it. So my beef with that is that initially their message, in my opinion, was to keep kids off of cigarettes, pot, and alcohol, and that's great. You know what I mean? I completely agree. Kids shouldn't be doing any of that shit. I'm against smoking cigarettes at all, but I mean, I don't judge people based on that. I have friends that smoke cigarettes. I just my dad used to smoke. It's something that I don't like. I've smoked maybe 5 cigarettes my whole life, and that's only when I'm drinking and just being stupid. But so the whole thing on that is that was the initial view. But now I feel like their message is saying that if you don't do those things, if you don't smoke cigarettes, you don't smoke pot, you don't drink alcohol, you're better than everybody else. And the only reason that I think that is the message they're conveying is because these kids, these people that don't smoke or don't drink, think themselves that they're better people, and it happens a lot. I've noticed it in school. Kids that don't do that shit just think they're better, and their whole thing is like, I don't need alcohol to have a good time. No shit. I have good fucking times all the time when I'm not drinking. I have good times when I'm doing these commentaries. I have good times playing games. I have good times hanging out with my dad. I had watched the Steeler game the other night with my dad. Even though we lost, I had a good time. So I'm hanging out with my dad, having some beers. And, well, that would be me drinking alcohol. But aside that, I have fun a lot when I'm not drinking. But that doesn't mean that I don't also have a good time when I'm drinking responsibly at a bar or at a friend's house, drinking alcohol, having a good time. Obviously being responsible, I'm not doing anything stupid. I'm having a good time. But then you always get these things where these kids are like, you invite somebody out, and they're like, nah, man, it's cool. I have way more important things to do than to go and drink with you guys. Way more things that I need to get done than go out and be a fool and drink alcohol. So the last thing that I want to do is knock these people who don't smoke or don't drink or do any of that stuff. That's awesome if you don't do any of that stuff. And I'm not holding it against anybody that does do that shit. It's to each his own. And the whole point of me saying what I just said was to not act like a dick about it. I feel like the whole above the influence deal has pushed these kids into thinking that just because they don't do that shit, they're better than everybody else, and then they act like it and they treat other people like that, and I think that's just bullshit. So on to the next topic. So I want to talk about dreaming real quick. The reason I want to do this is because a lot of my subscribers, a lot of the people that watch my episodes, a lot of people that I even play online with are younger. And so I feel like this goes out to you if you are able to do the same thing that I'm about to say, which is possible because I've talked to people that said that they could do the same thing. Between the ages of 12 and 16, I was able to realize that I was dreaming and somewhat control it or just do whatever I wanted. But unfortunately, like, I never reached my full potential. I was never like, man, this is a dream. I'm going to go jump off a building and not die because I'm dreaming. I'm going to go get some guns and just go shooting some animals and just put any gun I want in my hand, go run out and just start shooting shit. Never did any of that stuff. Never decided I could go fly or any of that, or be a secret agent and go do some bomb shit. What is the one thing that a kid between the ages of 12 and 16 thinks about? I'll give you a second. It's pretty rough. It's pretty hard. Yeah, that's right. Sex. That's it. So whenever I was, that age and was in my dream, be like, shit, this is a dream. I can do whatever I want. I wanted to have sex, and that was it. Regardless if it was a dream or real life, that's what I wanted. So I would go run around wherever I was, wherever the scene of my dream was. I would run around. Specifically, I remember being outside my house at nighttime. No one was around. I'm just sprinting, running down the street, looking for any woman, and then I'd find them and say, "Hey, you want to fuck?" Some would say yes, some would say no. Sometimes they'd say yes, and I'd wake up before anything happened. Sometimes they'd say yes, and I'd finish, and then I'd wake up and have a mess to clean in the morning. But, so yeah, sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. And, that's pretty much it. And I'm disappointed now because I can't do it. I realized my potential before. Now I realize, like what I could have done, and, like, I'll go to bed, be like, all right, if I have a dream, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. Never happened. Never able to control it. But the same thing went for nightmares. It only happened to me particularly one time in a nightmare that I remember, and I'll tell you what happened. So this dream, it was a recurring nightmare. And what I'm about to tell you guys, seriously, listen up if you're a kid and you know how to control your dreams, because this is a technique you can use in nightmares to run faster. Everybody knows in nightmares you can't run. The harder you try, the slower you go. So listen up. All right. So I had this reoccurring dream where I would be in my bedroom when I was younger, and back when I was younger, my brother and I had bunk beds, so I was on the top bunk, he was on the bottom. I'd wake up in my dream. I woke up in my room on my bed, and I looked down. Craig wasn't there. I look out the window, and there's fog everywhere, and like a red light through the fog, and there are like these creatures jumping over my fence in my backyard to come into my house. So obviously, I get the fuck up. And I go run to my parents' room, nobody's there. Run to my sister's room, nobody's there. Nobody's anywhere in my house. I go downstairs, I'm standing on the landing looking at the door. The door's wide open, the smoke and the red light is making its way in, but at the same time I see a way out. So I jump off the steps, I run out out of the house, and I run out to my sidewalk off my porch, and I turn left, and I just start running, okay? So I'm running, and I turn around, and this thing is chasing me. And now when I say a thing, I don't mean a monster. I don't mean anything terrifying. I mean a fish. There was a fish chasing me, standing up, not like swimming in the air, standing up on its back 2 fins, running at me. Fastest fish ever. Chase me, running me. I'm trying to run faster every time. Can't do it. Then, I remember, this is a dream. This shit has happened to me so many times, and the same thing always happens. I never get away, but I wake up before the fish gets me every time. So, I realized this, and then I realized back when I'm watching Scooby-Doo and shit, Scooby-Doo, Fairly Odd Parents, I take something from it, the whole Scooby-Doo run. Jump in the air, make your legs run as hard as you can in the air, and as soon as you hit the ground, you take off. Tried it, fucking worked fluently, and I never had that dream again. Not only did it work and I got away from the fish, but I seriously never had that dream again, ever. And I think that might be the last time that I ever was able to control a dream. But, it wasn't worth it. But it's baller that I got away from the fish. So if you're a kid and you have those fucking dreams, do that. Jump in the air, Scooby-Doo run, and peace out.